Alright, finished the first round of lacings. Then I went back and started tightening them up, starting in the center with the rawhide knot and working each direction until I got it all the way to, and then by the way I tied it instead of doing another gluing at this point. I went ahead and tied it. This gives me the ability to, if I see anything that I want to correct, I can still undo it. When we're all done and this starts to dry and starts to grab on, that's when I'll go back and glue it. That's lace number one. And lace number two, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to fill in every other hole. I like to start on the opposite side where this knot is, go to the opposite side, start same thing, put both ends in first, so the rawhide knot will be right in the middle. And you know what, take that back, that's where this knot and the rawhide knot's going to be. So I'm going to try to start a quarter way around. That's about right. So I'll have a rawhide knot every quarter around the drum. See what I mean by, in case you see something you want to change? You never know. Okay. Rawhide knot's in place. And now same thing. Start one end, every other hole, all the way around. And on each side, and then we'll tie it off. And then we'll start the drawing process. Now, I've completed wrapping the lace around it. I pulled it as tight as I could without tearing the rawhide. So be careful about that, because, like, again, it's wet, and wet rawhide, especially thin rawhide like goat, will tear when it's wet. So I pulled it as tight as I can. It's not super tight. It's taut, but not super tight. When the rawhide dries, it'll draw in and make that even tighter. I've got the ends of the lace again in a knot in case I decide, hey, there's something else I want to do, or I see a mistake or anything, and then I can always untie it. Now, when the rawhide is dry, what I'll be able to do is glue these, overlap them, and glue them like I did before, holding them in place with the clothespin, and then I'll use the rawhide, some more of the rawhide lace that I've soaked, and do a rawhide knot on those also using the whipping technique. Now, as this is very wet, and as you can tell, it's already got a nice sound, and that's even before it's been dried. Now, I didn't mention this in the beginning either. Got another little thing you might want to keep around, especially when you're working with rawhide. A hair dryer. Speeds things up. I don't know about you, but I'm a little impatient. I like to get it done as quickly as possible, and the hair dryer will do just that, and it'll dry it out. I'm not going to finish it right now on the camera, because it's going to take a little too long. I want to show you how to make the beaters next. So we'll put that aside. Two ways to make the beaters. We've got just simple dowels. These are about 11-12 inches long. I took a piece of the goat hide, and I glued and I just wrapped around the end of each one. I did a quick sanding on the ends also to round the edges so it's not a sharp edge, and it sounds really nice on the drums. That's one. The other is making a little bit more of a cushioned beater. Now, this is what I showed you earlier when I was tapping on the drum. I mentioned the lint from the dryer. Again, I have wool in here, but that lint that's the the right price, and it's it's recycling. So you'll put some lint on the end of your stick, wrap it tightly in a piece of a thinner scrap leather, and then tying it down really nicely. I used on this artificial sinew, which I love working with anyways. But the string I mentioned earlier, wrap the string around there, tie it real firm, and then drop a couple drops of glue on that to prevent that from coming undone, and you've got yourself a beater. That concludes this episode as far as what to do with scrap leather, things to make with scrap leather here. If you have any questions, please visit us on my website, www.corpsrediscovery.com. Corps as in Army Corps of Engineer, spelled C-O-R-P-S as in Sam, Rediscovery. Again, I have a full store there. If there's anything you need or you're looking for that I don't have, by all means send me an email, or if you have any questions, send me an email. Alright? Visit me on Facebook too when you get a chance. Take care, and until next time, bye-bye.